Good morning. I'm Gianni the Greek coming to you live straight from Las Vegas. It's Friday, June the 14th. We got a lot to get to. Busy 24 hours. Fired on tennis, fired on soccer, fired on Euro 2024. In fact, I had given 10 or 11 plays out a few days ago and got about 7 or 8 Steam plays last night as I was coming home from the UFC Apex, where we taped 2 UFC on the lines. One is already up on Fight Pass. That was shown live yesterday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And the next episode will be up on Monday on UFC Fight Pass for Saudi Arabia card. I believe I've only got one losing episode, and we're now all the way through June. There's a lot of good luck involved in that. Again, they're individually picking cards for us to do. It's random. We don't even do every single event. So there's a little randomness involved, but I'll take it. It's been a really good year in MMA, so no surprise there. And also the gambler's perspective, both me and Nick Kalikas up about a dime since the program launched. We're 80 plus episodes in. That's plus CV information each and every week. The gambler's perspective. Check me out at Greek_gambler on social media. With that said, do me the favor, go down there, smash that like button. And please, 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 if you get a second, comment, ask a question. That's what I'm here for. And if you really want to help out, share this video with anyone you can. Again, the views just aren't really climbing up there. So I'm probably going to do this a little bit more through the summer, but with football comes, like, unless it's really worth it, because I'm probably going to do a couple different shows or segments. I don't know, doing it every day. If it's not going to keep growing, obviously, I guess bettors just like those free pick videos. So coincidentally, a play just came in soccer. Let me share that real quickly so I don't forget. I got a soccer play in Sweden for tomorrow. We're going under 2.5, laying up to minus 110, 115 on under 2.5. Skavde, Skovde versus Degerfors, Degefors. So Skavde versus Degerfors under 2.5, minus 210, minus 110, excuse me. We also went in USL Championship here in the United States. We went over 2.75, minus 110, Las Vegas versus Luton United. And finally, in tennis, I got Brandon Nakashima over JL Struff, at plus 215, all 3% plays. 3% plays, you know what that is. That's 0.25 of 3%, which equals 0.75. So less than 1% on each of those of our bankroll. Why? Because we want to overcome any negative fluctuation so we can profit when our edge materializes. Perfect example. Yesterday, we had a great day. If you got buried the day before, you're out of action. That's the short term. That's why you need the bet size correctly. Look how things change, how quickly things change. Let's go over the results real fast. Why not? Transparency first and foremost. Always, 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 always. I'll tell you when I win. I'll tell you when I lose. We'll celebrate the losses, and I'll face you when it's a negative night, negative week, negative month. It's going to be hard to be a negative year because I give enough volume, and with our edge, we'll have a statistically significant sample size. So we're a mathematical favorite, heavy favorite to be profitable over a year. Now, over the last 3 days, look, all of a sudden, I have a 14, 15% ROI. I'm number 2. I'm up 15 units. Again, that's just the randomness of a short-term sample size. Yesterday, we were talking about a minus 20 ROI or whatever. Today, I'm plus 15 ROI the last 3 days. That's the fluctuations and the volatility that you have to deal with as a sports bettor each and every day. And it's almost like day trading, where you have to focus on the long term, where you know going in, even if you're a very good trader, you're going to lose some trades. You're going to be off on some trades. With betting, it's the same thing. You could place great bets, plus CV bets that you're a mathematical certainty to have the edge, and you can still lose. Again, I'll take it back to the coin flip. I could give you 1,000 to 1 on a coin flip. When we know it's only 50-50, you should be giving even money, but I'm giving you 1,000 to 1. We flip it 2 times. I could be up 2-0 on you. And even though you made the best bet anyone ever made in the world, in the history of the world, you still lost. because that's the randomness of a small sample size. That's what the sports books don't talk to you about. They push those parlays, that emotions. They want you emotional. They want you excited to be like, look at that. That's life-changing money. It could happen with a quick parlay. The fuck it can, dude. You know what the probabilities of that are? If you're going to do that, you might as well play the lottery and make a couple $1 billion in whatever that mega millions, mega billions, whatever that stuff is. We don't have lottery here in Nevada. Guess why? No competition against the casinos. They don't want even a chance of a hint of competition against gambling inside the casino. So no lottery here. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to do it like that, you might as well go for the lottery. So short-term results, you know what's going to happen. That's why I don't focus on them. Instead, I focus on the long term, because if our goals are aligned, I will profit for you. That's what I do. It's not by accident we've profited 8 of the last 9 years. It's not by accident I increased starting capital by 80%. I will continue to repeat that, not as an infomercial, not because I like the sound of my own voice, but because it's almost like a fighter practicing the same move. It needs to become automatic muscle memory, that if you bet size correctly, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25, you will be profitable if you have an edge. Why? Because your risk of ruin is low enough to overcome negative swings. It's so simple. You guys are as sharp and as smart as they come, which is why you're watching this. You know better. Don't let your emotions cost you money. We make the worst decisions when we're emotional, both good and bad. You know, when you're crushing it, you feel like this is so easy. The sports book's my ATM. Shit, if I was betting 2x this, I'd be up 2 times what I'm up. Time to unload. Or when I'm behind, let me catch up. Let me get back to even. Just get back to even and I'll do this the right way. How many times have we said that? Dude, the right way is today. It's admitting, listen, I fucked up. Like everybody else, I know what the right thing to do is. I didn't have the discipline to do it. I didn't have the patience to do it. But today that changes. It's like losing weight, bro. We all know how to do it. I was 240 pounds. There was no secret to it. No crash diets worked. None of that nonsense worked. There was one thing that worked: lifestyle change and patience. That was it. The lifestyle change was learning to eat correctly. The patience was it takes time. That's it. It's like anything else. We know what to do. But are we willing to make the sacrifices? Do we have the discipline? Do we have the patience? Again, you guys know what to do. You know you're sharp enough to determine winning information from guys that are getting lucky. You know how to do that already. I know you do. Now, let's get into some Major League Baseball action. Don't worry. That was my stock, guys. Oh, actually, no. We have a premium play coming in right now. Wow, you guys are going to get this one live. I might as well give it to you now. Where are we at? St. Louis and the Cubs. We're going to go over 7 minus 120. Over 7 minus 120. It's an early game. Cubs. St. Louis over 20. Over 7 minus 120. Let me get that in. Sorry. Again, I can't time when these plays are going to come in. This isn't a show where that's scripted. We're going live on the trading room floor. This is what I'm doing. And we just turned the tape on. All right. Sorry, guys. I got to get that out there to subscribers as well. Over 7. Minus 120. Minus 120. Yeah, I like that. Forgive me. See, now I got to bet it too. There we go. All right, we're good. We're gold. All right, let's get back to baseball. I got some baseball action for you, so let's dive right in. Some premium plays that I released to my subscribers. I'm going to give you 2 sides today. Let's start off with with 919 Texas. 919 Texas. We bet them on the money line for the game, run line for the game, money line for first five, run line for first five. So that's Texas. And you could see we spread out our bet amongst the different options, first five and full game. Same thing with Boston, except we didn't take the plus 1.5 runs for full game, but we did take Boston money line, took Boston first five money line, Boston first five plus a half. So we're on Texas and we're on Boston today. Both of those are dogs. If we get a split, we turn a profit. We go 2-0. It's a great night for free premium plays. Now I'm going to share some other information that I got with other guys that I trade with, because again, I'm not the only guy moving steam. And fortunately, I have a big enough network and no other movers, because we provide accounts for each other and we also share what the bots kick out. So here's 3 more sides that I got from the guys I work with, all plus EV information. I'm still going to work on these to see if I'm going to release any for subscribers. They're on the Mets, they're on Toronto, and they're on Houston. That's the Mets, Toronto, and Houston. They also went under Cincinnati, Milwaukee, over Texas, Seattle. So under Cincinnati, Milwaukee, over Texas, Seattle. All 5 of those sharp plays. Like I said, betting syndicate moves. I bought some uranium today. Got some uranium today. My buy order was at 51. It dropped down to 51. It's nice that I had missed it the other day while doing a show. And, I didn't take the bad number. I waited. It retraced. It got a chance of going lower. If it does, I'm backing up the truck. I have one more trend line sitting at about $46 and my final trend line at about $40, $39.17. So I got in at 51. And if the trade goes against me, I'm ready to dollar cost average 2 more levels. If it goes up, obviously I'm not going to add to it, because I'm not going to increase my average price. I'm only going to add to it when it goes lower. I'm not going to add to it when it goes higher. That's the mistake that a lot of novice traders and investors do. When they buy a stock and they see it go up, rather than even sell the stock and pocket the money or even hold it, what they do is add to it. So now their average price is higher. So if they bought it at $10 a share and then they buy the exact same amount at $20 a share, their average price is now at $15. So you now got a worse average price than you already had. But if you buy at 10 and all of a sudden it drops to 5 and you buy the same amount, now your average price is $7.50. It needs to go up a lot less for you to now be profitable. It doesn't have to go past $10. Now it has to go up above $7.50 for you to be profitable. So I see a lot of, and I did it myself. I did it with crypto, where I was adding when I first got involved pre-2020, when I started investing in crypto, and I would be adding to it even if it went up. Like I started buying Bitcoin when it was like 7,000, 8,000. And then even when it got to 11,000, I added more. That was the mistake. That was the mistake I made. Obviously, based on the price. Now it's not a mistake, but back then it was. I did the same thing with Ethereum, started buying that at like 300, 400, 500, but then still bought some at like 11, 1,200, which was a mistake because it dropped back down below that after I had purchased. So you learn as you go forward. You never stop learning. You should learn with every loss and every win. That's the one thing I've discovered in my sports betting journey, that right when you think you know everything, you learn something new. And the markets are constantly evolving because bettors are constantly evolving, and we are the ones that create the market. So as our betting patterns start to change, the markets start to change. Perfect example. There was a time in the 70s and 80s, you just bet the Monday night home dog. You bet the dog. You bet the dog, the home dog, the home dog. If you saw a home dog on Monday night, you bet it. Why? Because if a team was on the road and favored, they're arguably the better team on paper. It's rare you're going to be a road favorite where you don't look a lot better on paper. Well, who do the recreational bettors usually bet? Those teams that they predict are going to win. Who do we predict is going to win? That team that looks better on paper. It has nothing to do with the inefficiency in the price. But eventually, markets corrected themselves. They became more efficient. And that's why you can't just blindly do that anymore. All right. My boys that I trade with, they're going in on Tesla right now. I had gotten Tesla earlier. I sold when it got up back to that 179. I probably should have held Tesla longer because I do have a long-term portfolio that I do keep them, but I've gotten in when it dropped, back here in like April at $150 plus. And when it got up to like 170, whatever, close to 180, I had made like what, 20% on my money. I was good. I'm a trader. I'm in and out. I don't have the patience for the long term in investing. So I have other people that manage that for me, because I'd be going in and out. All right, let's get to some of your questions. I think we covered everything. We won over the last 3 days, but that means nothing. What matters most is what are we over the last 365? And I'm sure we moved up. Let's look. I don't want to say anyone think I'm avoiding it because we've been losing of late. Yeah, I'm now number one, over 125 units, over 1.5% ROI. That's what happens, man. You go up and down, but when in doubt, zoom out. And what happens when we zoom out? We see the results. That's how you sleep better, when you know over the last 365, that's what we're doing. So never get too high or too low. That's what matters most. And I'm sure we're positive for the year now. Yep. Just like I thought. That's what man. You grind, you got an edge. Then numbers don't lie. It happened in the gambler's perspective. I started this season actually down overall since we launched the show. I didn't chase. I stayed selective, didn't increase bet size. And here I am now going into this last episode. I was up around a dime like Nick is. Like just grinding and sticking to it, trusting in the ability to beat the edge. All right, let's go. Let's get to these questions. And please don't be shy. Ask whatever is on your mind. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to let you know I don't know the answer. And I'll also differentiate between opinion and fact. All right. Can you share your thoughts on live betting? Wondering if personally take live when they shift, and any strategies? Great question, Mark Satharis. Thank you for the question. I think live betting offers amazing opportunities. Number one, if you know the sharp side already, you could look for games that start quickly where, again, the first 3-5 minutes don't matter, but the live line will reflect what happened early on. A lot of times you could get even better numbers than the betting syndicate got, which made a plus EV bet, but only if you get down early on. Once the game goes deeper and it's adjusted, you really can't compare the closing line to it anymore. Number two, if you already have placed a bet pre the game starting, you have ample opportunities to lock in profit. How do you do that? Well, I took the dog plus 11 points. Now, all of a sudden, they come out at the end of the first quarter, the dog's up points. Guess what? I'm going to be able to hedge by betting the favorite and setting myself up with a nice middle where I decide whether I want to risk any money or try to middle the exact amount. It puts me in a position of strength. That's what you want to bet, from a position of strength. And when I got a plus 11 and they're winning at the end of the first quarter, rest assured, what number they're going to put up in the live lines going to allow me to take the game favorite opposite my dog at a great number, possibly setting up a middle. And number three, with the live lines, I'm going to share this with you also. They're behind sometimes. Okay. I'll let you in on a little trade secret. Recreational bettors are going to have a really tough time beating line lives if they're going to follow the game and bet based on what they're watching. Here's why. Because the betting syndicates already have people positioned at these arenas sending updates of exactly what's happening in real time, because there's always a delay, almost always a delay. You have to pay extra to get a live feed. Most of these sports books do not do that. I could share a perfect example with you. I was at the UFC Apex watching UFC Fight Night. I opened up my my app for one of the sports books. I look at the live line. It was still posted, even though like the third round had started. So they're like 8, 9, 10, 15 seconds in, and the book is behind. Now you're like, how can you take advantage of 8, 10 seconds in a fight? Real quickly, real easily. Someone lands a big shot. Something devastating, spectacular happens where okay, it's now we're looking at a 10-8 round, 10-9 round for sure for this guy. Like, there are ways to take advantage of that. So yes, I think there's a lot of opportunities in live betting. The flip side of that, the negative side of it, like I said, you're going up against some of the best traders in the world that are usually going to suck out all the value. And it takes a lot of your time. You more or less have to not only handicap and bet, but then you have to watch the game and bet it throughout. So it's time consuming, and time is money. You have to balance that out. Could I be making more driving Uber? Could I be making more in a part-time job? Could I be making more doing DoorDash than I could watching these games live for 6 hours every night and trying to find that little inefficiency that the betting syndicate didn't extract? To me, that's the balancing act that you got to figure out for yourself when it comes to live. Next, James Cute, my man. And the betting size for double decks and six decks are the same. The bet size are, meaning unit size. The amount of units we're willing to spread have to differ. To beat a double deck game and really beat it, I need to spread 1x to 10x. I need my minimum bet, if it's at $10, my max to be able to bet 100. Now, you could still be profitable betting 1x to 6x, but man, it's such a grind. I'm going 1x to 10x. I'm looking for 1x to 10x. If you go 1x to 20x, you're getting kicked out in double deck. But if I'm going to play a 6-deck game, I got to be able to go to 1x to 20x or I'm not playing it. So my minimum deck bet, if it's $10, I got to be able to put up 200, 10 to 200. If I'm spreading 1x to 20x, I could beat a 6-deck game. If I spread 1x to 10x, I could destroy a double deck game. So I'm looking to destroy games. I'm not looking to just beat them. And to destroy them, I need that kind of bet spread. I'm not in the game anymore where I'm just trying to extract this much per hour. I'm not looking for the hourly rate. I'm looking to do damage, serious damage. And to do that, I'm going 1x to 10x, 1x to 20x. Question for tomorrow's episode. I know we've all had them, but can you tell us some of your top bad beats? There's too many to name. I've lost a bet every possible way. I've watched the Tennessee Volunteers back when I didn't have money, where it was like the 8th team on an 8-team parlay. I still remember that I was going to win like 17,000 and change. I'm at my boy's house. I swear to you, we're putting our shoes on to get in the car and go drive down to the strip to cash my ticket. I was already thinking, here's where we're going to dinner. Here's what we're going to do. Like, there was no way I could not cover this spread. Like, they were ahead covering the spread. They had the ball at the end of the game. They could have like knelt down and ended it for me. I'm almost positive that could have happened. And somehow, some way, like a turnover transpired and the other team runs it back. And again, not to win the game or anything spectacular, but it was just a meaningless touchdown at the end that ended up costing me $17,500 on like $100 bet. I have so many of those big straight bets where I had my whole bank. I remember I saved up like I was up to like eight dimes. This is when I came here in the beginning. I had came with $600. Anyway, I built that up to like 8 dimes. I had like 8,400, 8,500. And it was a Jaguars Sunday night game. And I was looking to fade the Jags. And I bet like a dime on them, which again was way over betting. My bankroll, I shouldn't have bet more than like $80 if I loved them. Probably no more than 100 if it was my strongest play. But I bet 10x what I should have 1,000. Well, what happens? I'm hanging out at the Stardust counter, and as people are in line to bet the 8 o'clock game, they're betting the Jaguars. I'm listening to them bet the Jaguars, and I'm just like, oh, dude, they're all on the wrong side. So what do I do as the contrarian, as the sharp? went to the window and bet more money against the Jaguars while sitting there. Once again, more people. Then a dude shows me as a parlay, no lie, like 6 legs of a parlay. And this dude is as mush as they come, as mush as they possibly come. If he was back east in Philly, we'd call him acid, because anything he touches, that's burning for sure. His nickname would have for sure been Acid back in Philly. Well, Acid shows me a 6-team parlay with the last team pending, the Jaguars. Now, this is a gentleman that, forget being due. He was due about a decade before I met him. So the regression to the mean and the law of big numbers do not apply to this man for whatever reason. It just does not apply. So when he showed me that, I kid you not, by that time I already had like 27.50 to win 2,500. I'm like, Ace, this is your way to get over 10 dimes. Remember what your boy said. Get to over 10 dimes, then just sit behind Fat Mike and bet a nickel a game for the forever. Just bet a nickel a game, and I could live in a nice place. I could golf like they do. I could just work during Mike's hours, and then I go home. What a great freaking job. And I don't even have to do the work. All I have to do is follow this guy, have an account in a different book, because, again, they don't really move on air. You had to bet back then for them to move a number. And boy, we could make a ton of money doing that. So what do? I end up having $5,500 of that $8,500 roll on the team opposite the Jaguars. What happens? Of course, the Jaguars not only cover the spread, they win the game outright. The next day, what do? The only thing you can do, bet the Monday night game for what you have left. Why? Because you got to get back up to 5-7 dimes, right? I just had 8,500 before I went to bed, hours before going to bed. Now I'm at 3 dimes tops. I got to get that back. How do I do that? Well, easily. I'm going to bet 2,000 on the side, and I'm going to put $1,000 parlay side in total. Of course, that's how we're going to get it. Next thing you know, I'm going to be back over that 6 dime mark. Life is good, baby. Life is good. Well, you know how that story ended. You know how it ended. We all know how it ended. I don't even have to tell you. So I could tell you bad beats forever, Scotty. Forever, brother. All right, President JB. Do the NBA Finals end tomorrow? Great show, Ace. Honestly, you should just start a podcast if you're going 30 minutes daily. Probably should start a podcast. You guys help me, teach me how to do that. I swear, I'm just working. And then my girl comes in and she like sets it up. She's like, you ready to go? And I'm like, give me 5 minutes, because if sometimes I'm putting stuff in or doing results, whatever. But then I just jump over to her side of the office and just go. That's really how we do it. Let me tell you about the NBA Finals. Yeah, Boston gets it done tomorrow. It's over. No surprise. Boston's going to get it done. It's a lock. I can never say that, but it's a lock. Boston wins this series. That's a lock. Now, that's not saying anything. They're minus like 5,500. So I'm not telling you anything you guys don't know. But we're winning our 5% on the Celtics. That much is for sure. Now, they're going to do it in game 4. I think so. I'm not looking for any type of hedge. That's what I think, my man. Best of luck, JB. All right, Chris Dugan. Can you spend some time discussing the key numbers in baseball and when to move on and off? Talked about that yesterday. Check out yesterday's video real quick. 7-9-11. 7-9-11. Why? 3-3 breaks it. 4-4 breaks it. 5-5 breaks it. All right. Recreational player. Which sports books has the most accurate market numbers for college football regular season wins? It's not even who's accurate. It's who books sharp action. You want to look at Pinnacle. You want to look at Bet Online. They don't kick you out. The rest are kicking you out. Now, you also got to be cautious, because knowing that other books copy off Pinnacle, copy off Bet Online, like I get plays from different groups that I work with. A lot of them use a bot. So I'm just in this Telegram and a bot comes through. It just says Junction Bot. I don't even know what the hell that is. Telegram, and they're bots. I have it for 3 different groups. They use bots. Now, 2 of the other guys I move for, they actually text me the stuff. They text it. And many times, they know that my account's flagged as being sharp. So because I have a good relationship with one of them, he'll let me know, hey, bet this on screen. Now, what we're actually doing is manipulating the market. I could bet a nickel, have them at penny move it towards our favor, where we could now get a better line opposite the bet I just made. And we've done that on occasion. Works best with money lines. Point spreads, it takes a little more money from me to move them. But now, because of the MMA reputation, I bet an MMA line, Matt, on screen, I'm moving it. I'm moving the market just myself. And it's not even, they're like, oh, Ace is great at MMA. They know that I have sources and a very, very good network of MMA guys that I work with. If you're winning at MMA, like you're elite at MMA, I'm moving your stuff. That much I could promise you, because I have some of the biggest MMA accounts where I could get down a lot of money in MMA, in props and stuff that most can't get down. So believe me, if you're winning in MMA, you've reached out to me. That much we know. All right, next up. Colorado native. Is PayPal still a good buy? No, I don't even know where they're at now. I don't think I'm even following no more. Like I told you, I'll let you know if I'm swing trading or if I'm day trading. And PayPal gave us like 7, 8, 10% within like 48 hours. We're in and out there. We're in and out. Anyone that we have two trend lines. We have Fibonacci retrace. We have a lot going for us on this uranium trade. And right now, I think I'm one of the few people that are short Bitcoin. I'm short Bitcoin. That trade's gone against me. I'll tell you the truth. It's gone against me. But I am short Bitcoin. The other thing, I'm looking to buy gold. Every time gold, I sold my gold at $215, at $215. I got in at like 180. I started stockpiling gold. Anyone that's following me knew from last year, I said stockpile gold, stockpile gold, stockpile gold. Well, I got in at 180. It got up to 215, where I had made what? $35 on the 180. That's 20%. That's what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for 10%, but that got 20%. Even though I didn't want to get out of it, I did. I got out of my paper gold. I held my physical gold. I never trade my physical gold, but I got out of my paper gold. Now, because I want to get back in gold, every time it dips below that, I'll re-buy again. The other day, it was down at 211. 211. I made my biggest purchase in a while in gold. But I've been dollar cost averaging every day. If it's down like 213, and 213 and below, I'll dollar cost average for a little bit every day. Like today, I didn't, because it was at like 215, so I didn't mess with any gold. I'm out of silver. I'm out of silver completely. I thought it was going to get up to $30. It didn't. Glad I sold before that. I sold at 29. I never try to hit the tops, and I never try to buy at the bottoms. That's an impossible task. You could get close enough, you're winning. You're winning. So once I got a nice return on my silver, which I got a great return, I was out. Paper silver. Physical silver, we never trade. We keep that. We keep that for the rainy day that hopefully does not come. Hopefully I'm wrong. And of course, lithium is down below that $41 mark that I touched on a while back that we were looking to buy. And wheat got down to 574. I have a buy on wheat at 569. I'm looking to reaccumulate some wheat at 569. It hasn't hit that yet. It's gotten to 574. Wheat we made good money on. Remember, we bought that at $5, rode that up to like 620 and got out of wheat. Now I'm looking for it to retrace back down. I have a couple gaps that may fill, and one of them is at 569. And I'm willing to buy a little at 569. Not big. Again, we dollar cost average. And finally, where's our lithium? Our lithium got past that $41. So my buy triggered on lithium. It was a small buy because I have my next bigger one at 39.31. So it's probably a gap at 39.31, 39.35. So I have a bigger buy at 39, and I have a bigger one even at 36, 34. See, I'm always prepared for the trade to go against me. I'm always thinking the worst. I'm preparing for the worst. More times than not, it doesn't. My trade is right. I wait for multiple factors. I don't just trade on one. I trade on multiple factors. So I have a higher probability of being correct. But sometimes it takes time for these to play out. So I wouldn't, I'm going to look at that PayPal real fast. I don't even know where it is right now. That's why. Oh, yeah. See, it's down now. Where at? $60 range. See, we had gotten down where near that bottom and tail. Oh, yeah. It's got 1, 2, 3. It's got 4 straight days. Now, here's where I would buy some PayPal. If it gets down to like $60.15, I would look to buy some PayPal. I would look to buy some PayPal if you want it to be a long-term hold. But I wouldn't back up the trucks unless it got down to like 52. If it got down to like $52 range, I would look to back up the trucks. But again, PayPal made us our little bit of money and we're out. Wow, that looks like it's going to do it for today. Again, we went a little longer, but I love you guys. Big weekend ahead. We got UFC tomorrow. We got Major League Baseball, playoff action. And of course, any of that soccer, tennis, anything we could beat, we're looking to beat. I don't care what the sport is. All I care about is cashing a ticket. Love you guys. Whether you follow, fade, or ignore, I swear to you, I hope you cash them. Don't trash them. And please, please, please show that support. And so we keep this going and building it. And I promise you, it will pay off. You're not wasting your time. Love you.